Hey everyone, it's Anthea here, Twin Love. Hello. I'm doing a video today for you guys about truth, vulnerability, and the difference between that and chasing. Because for my last energy update that I did, I've had a few questions and a few emails that have come through to basically asking me, you know, what it is, like, is that not chasing, or what do you mean, like, speak your truth if you're in communication? And so I wanted to do this video just to kind of hopefully clarify for you guys what it is that I mean when I say about speaking your truth and the vulnerability with your twin. Now I appreciate everybody's journey is different, okay? Not any one journey is the same. There are similarities with twins, many similarities, but doesn't necessarily mean it's the same journey. Okay, so I can only go by my experiences, and hopefully by my experiences I can help you guys with what I mean when I say truth and vulnerability and the difference to chasing. I don't really believe, I know that things have been labelled with twins, they're different phases and stuff, and I understand that there's a lot of labels to do with that, the runner, chaser, the separation phase, and yes, I can see in the physical how we need that label, if you like, to kind of put it into a logical box, if you like. But I don't really believe in those templates. I did going through the journey, but now that I'm more into it, I suppose I don't feel that way anymore about the twin flame dynamic, if you like. Because twin flames for me are not a relationship that we know in the physical. Twin flames are not the same as your bog standard boyfriend, girlfriends, or someone you love, someone you've been in love with. It's far more than that. It's not just romanticized either. I don't even know if that's a word. Did I say that right? Romanticized? I don't know. You know what I mean? But it's not about that either. Even though it's very much a part of the journey itself, it's still not just about that either, as you know. So the reason why I suppose there's struggle in the journey is because it's the way back to home. And for me, this journey was very much about finding me again. From meeting my twin, it brought me back home to myself. And I go on about it so much, but it's about your journey back to self-love. And when we're on that journey, the reason why I think we struggle the most is because we have to get back to our real selves. There are so many layers that we have to work through to get back to our true essence, our true soul's essence, who we really are. And I suppose that can be the struggle. When you're really confronting yourself, that can be the struggle. But I do not believe that this journey is a struggle. I believe that we can have good days and bad days. I believe that, there is a bit of a roller coaster, but I think that's life in general. And there isn't anything that you can't tackle with that. I feel and I fully believe that life is to be enjoyed. That life is to be happy, to be in love with yourself, with life, with friends, with family, with partners. I feel that it's up to us, to manifest that in our lives. So when I talk about, truth speaking with twin and the vulnerability, what I mean is this. When you're in communication with your twin, And let's just say that you're not boyfriend and girlfriend. Let's take that label away. Let's just say that you're not in union, but you have a friendship or you're in communication. You touch base now and then, you know, anything like that. If you are in communication with your twin, there is nothing stopping you from speaking your absolute utter truth. I know myself that I cannot fall in love with someone that wears a mask. I don't fall in love with a mask on someone. That's not what I fall in love with. What I fall in love with is the absolute utter depth of that person. I fall in love with the heart. I don't fall in love with the words. I don't fall in love with the cheeky chappy stuff. I don't fall in love with that. I like it. That's not what I fall in love with. I fall in love with the absolute soul of that person, the heart of that person. And it's when my twin has been at his most vulnerable with me that I fall in love with him even more and even more and even more. And when I am being in my absolute vulnerability and speaking my truth, I fall in love with myself even more and even more, because that's the real essence of who you are, okay? So when it comes to speaking truth, what I mean by that is, I'm trying to put it into a context so that you guys can kind of understand what I'm saying, like the difference. So let's just give an example. I think it's better to work with an example, right? Let's just say your twin is in a relationship with someone else, okay? And you're available. And you know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that that is your twin flame. Now, like I said, twin flames are very much different to soulmates or karmic partners. They're, as you know, completely different. So that connection between you guys is unbreakable. You can't break that connection. It's an unbreakable thing. So therefore, you should be able to feel confident enough, knowing that you've got an unbreakable connection, to be able to voice anything to your twin. Whether it's something blunt but said in love, whether it's something completely in love and utter vulnerability and this love is gushing out of you, no matter what it is that you say, you should never be afraid to voice what you really feel inside of yourself with your twin, because your twin is your twin. You can't be separate. It's impossible. So if you're feeling something, like, let's just say, for example, you're annoyed at something, his behavior, let's just say, okay. Us divine feminines have been working damn hard to really rise in our vibrations and to really love ourselves, right? Knowing our worth, self-respect, self-esteem, confidence, all of that. We've been working very, very hard. And let's just say your twin is crossing lines now, or he's disrespecting you, or anything like that. You should never be afraid to say that. You should never be afraid to voice that. If you feel that you're being disrespected, then say, I feel that I'm being very disrespected by you and I'm drawing a line. That's it. I'm drawing a line. You know, I feel that I'm not getting what I deserve from you. I feel that, you know, I don't know, whatever the situation is, I don't know. On the other hand, okay, if you're so much in love with each other and it's because that he's in another relationship with someone else, when I say speak your truth, I don't mean chasing him. I don't mean I want to be with you and that's that and I love you and I want to spend my life with you. I don't mean that either. That's not really being vulnerable. That's not really, you know, being your full self. You know, loving your twin is loving them unconditionally. And it's all about acceptance. If you're in a situation right now, okay, You have to accept that situation for what it is. But you know, deep down inside the depths of you, that no matter what, you're going to love this person. And loving someone unconditionally means that you love them and their choices that they make in life. You've got to take the end result out of your head, and you have to live in the now. But there is nothing to stop you from voicing your truth. So I'm going to give you a prime example of what I did. When my twin was with someone, we had a conversation years ago. I think it was about 3 years ago now. It wasn't long after I got with his brother-in-law. And I was now no longer with the brother-in-law, but he was with someone. So at that time he got with someone else, and I had to accept that. And I was in no position to argue with his choices. I had to just accept it for what it was. And I think I told you that I was so scared to voice what I really felt that I ended up writing a letter with no intention of giving it to him. But I did. I needed to express myself, and the only way I could do it was on paper. And it's taken me years to be able to even talk to him like I do now. You know, it took me a long time. And you can ask him, you know, how's Ant with her vulnerability? And he'll be like, she is absolute shite. That girl cannot be vulnerable. Well, I can a little bit now, I'm learning. But basically, we were talking about why he gets with these girlfriends, okay? Why he always chooses to get with the girl and of that time. And he said to me, well, the difference is, Ant, is that these girls, you know, they give me an ultimatum, basically. So it's either I get with them in a relationship or that's it, finito. So I said, well, I don't do that. And he said, well, maybe that's what you need to do with me. And it didn't sit right with me. Didn't sit right at all. I just thought, well, so all this time you're saying that I needed to give you an ultimatum to be with me? And I thought, oh, how is that loving myself? And this was a thought that was going on and over in my head for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I think that's what spurred me into writing this letter, because I thought, well, that's not my truth. My truth isn't that. My truth is that I love this guy unconditionally. And I don't want, through my love for him, I don't want to give him an ultimatum, because then that's not his choice. That's not him following his heart. And yeah, I want to be with him, but maybe that's not what he wants. And I think that for me to be with someone and know for sure that I'm loved wholeheartedly, if I gave that person an ultimatum to be with me, I don't feel that I would be then in this union, or I say relationship, or a union wholeheartedly, because then that means I kind of forced a decision on him. I would rather be with someone that knows in the depths of his soul that I am the person that he wants to be with, and it comes from him in his heart to me, right? That was my truth. Now, if I was going to mask it just to get the result I wanted and have a boyfriend, fine, give you an ultimatum and right, be with me or blah, 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 blah. And that's not me. That's not my truth. That's not who I am. And I can't then be in something that I'm going to know that's what happened. I gave you an ultimatum and there you are. Was your heart really in it? Or did you just do it because I gave you an ultimatum? I didn't think that that was loving myself at all. And I loved him too much to not put that on him either. I didn't want to put him in that position. I thought, no, if I'm really loving you, and my love is true, my love is really real, so no, I won't even do that to you. That's not really loving you. That's a condition. That's a condition that doesn't suit me. It's not my truth. And I don't feel it suits you either. So I disagree. I disagree. That is what I should have done. So I wrote that down. I wrote exactly that down. And I actually did it without, I mean, I didn't actually intend to give him the letter, but something was telling me to give it one day. I'd wrote it months before, and then this one particular time I thought, nah, something keeps telling me to give him this letter. So I did. And I thought I needed to let him know my truth. And that was by fully allowing him to be who he wants to be. But I'm still loving him with absolutely no expectation of whatever will come our way. I don't expect him to do anything for me. I know that my happiness is dependent on me. My love, my joy, my whole balanced, contented being is to do with me. I don't want to put that on him. That's not why I love him. I love him because I'm connected and he is my soul. And by loving me, I'm also loving him. And that's what I mean by expressing your truth. It's not about, I love you and I want to be with you. Yeah, I get that is your truth, but your truth is also being true to yourself and what serves you. What serves you? You know, it's got to be for your highest good. There's a difference between that and boundaries, okay? Boundaries are a completely different thing altogether. But healthy boundaries, very healthy boundaries. You know, if it's not your truth that you're sleeping with your twin and he's with someone else, and that doesn't sit right with you, that doesn't sit right maybe morally. I know the feeling, I know the pull, I have done it myself, and I'm not here to judge you or anyone or myself for doing what we've done. Trust me on that. You have my love and my support always, no matter what your situation is. But if that's not sitting right with you guys and it's not serving you, say it. Say it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to lose your twin. And say it. Say it out loud. You know, because at the end of the day, if you're loving someone unconditionally, the love has got to be based on an unconditional love then. You can't put conditions on the love. But there's nothing wrong with you saying that to your twin. Be open, be honest, and just say, look, I love you with all of my heart and soul. And I will love you till the day I die. And when I'm in heaven and you're still on the earth plane, I will still be loving you. And I will always be here for you. Of course I will. But this situation that we are in is not serving me. It's not resonating with who I am. And at the end of the day, I know what I want my life to look like. You know, I'm a strong person. I love myself. I'm always going to be happy. I don't ever want you to feel, you know, that you have to make me happy. You don't at all, darling. You don't. You know, I want you to be as happy in life. And this is what I want for me. This is it. You know, and I fully appreciate and respect where you're at right now. But this is what serves and this is what doesn't, you know. So I'm going to love you. I'm going to let you do your thing, you know. Live your life how you want to live it. And that's it. And if they don't then contact you for years and years and years and years and years, guys, get on with your lives. Get on, be happy, and actually get that zest for life from yourself, you know. But I'm telling you now, twins come back. I promise you they do. I couldn't do what I do. I wouldn't be sitting here to give you false hope if that wasn't true. You know, you guys know my journey. You know where we're up to. You know what I've even done to him and what he's done to me. And even 2 days ago, how much are we loving each other right now? Very much in each other's lives. He's single, I'm single. Well, we're together, but the blockages are going. We're doing our work. And I couldn't possibly do that to people, to just say, yeah, it's all right, do this and they'll be back sometime. I'm telling you now, twins will always come back. They'll always be drawn back together. But you don't have to make this journey spread out and ongoing. You know, Be vulnerable, voice how you feel. You know, if you're really in love with your twin and you guys are in great communication, never hesitate to say, I am loving you so much today, babe. I can't stop thinking about you. You know, you make my heart sing. You can be mushy as well. That's beautiful. You know, say what it is you really feel in your heart. But it's not about chasing them. It's actually the opposite, depending on your circumstance. You know, if you are in separation with your twin and there is absolutely no communication whatsoever between you, but you're feeling stuck in this constant waiting, if you like, I would personally just write down your truth, even if it's like address it to your twin and write it down for yourself. Get it all out of you. You know, from the minute you met, how you felt, what the journey you've been through, you know, everything that's come up for you, your zest that's come back into life, or everything that you've addressed since meeting your twin, anything that it is that has served you, and what they've helped do for you in your life, write it down. Just, you don't have to give it. I personally felt guided to. And yes, it worked well for me, but I didn't have an expectation. You know, I expected him to run for the hills, to be perfectly honest with you. I just thought, yeah, that'll be the last time I ever see this guy. And he's going to be like, sorry, Ant, no, don't feel that way. But he didn't, because I knew that we were connected and it didn't matter if he did. I was prepared for that. I was prepared. I just thought, I've got to get it out. I've got to get it out of me. And I was prepared for him to run for the hills and never speak to me again. And I thought, well, if that's the case, it will release me and I will live my life happy. I don't have any doubt in my mind that I won't be happy in life. And I'm prepared to do that. And I did. And yes, it had the opposite reaction, I suppose, to what I was expecting it to be. But I did it for myself. I did it to release me. I did it to release me from the depths of me, because I thought I can't carry on living my life having all of this emotion and this heartfelt energy and this depth of this love for this person without ever voicing what it is I feel. But at the same time as feeling that, I didn't want to put anything on him. I didn't want to make him feel that he was obligated to be with me just because I felt a connection. I did the exact opposite thing. I actually wrote something to let him go, and to get on with my life. But vulnerability is key. I'm just going to take a sip. And even, as the years roll on with my twin and I, when I needed that time out, come full moon, I posted something and I was in a real bad low energy, like I said, and I was in it for a while, probably about a week before and a week after. And during that time, everything was coming to the surface. My fears, it was the full moon kind of prompting the shadow side to come back up and facing my fears again, because we have such a cycle that repeats, whereby we get closer and then it repels, and then next thing you know, he's going to start getting with someone else. And I've always got the fear that that's going to be repeated. And I was getting that fear, and I just had to deal with it. And I posted something, and it triggered him like crazy. And it's because he saw how I was feeling, and he was very upset that I was feeling that way towards him. It wasn't about him. I didn't say, hi honey, this is about you. I just put it as a general thing. But he was so triggered. And, we had to deal with that. And then I backed off completely, because I thought, I need to sort myself out. It's not fair. It's not fair to come at him in a roundabout way. I need to be truthful about how I'm feeling. So I did. I did distance myself. I didn't respond to his messages for a while. And in the end, after he contacted me, a couple of weeks later, I responded and I spoke to him voice to voice. And I apologised. I did really apologise. And I explained my reasons as to why I withdrew, why I distanced myself, what it was I was going through internally, what I was dealing with. And bless his heart, I mean, he just took it and understood it and offered me love and compassion back. And if that was my twin 4 or 5 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. Believe me. He showed me such improvement in his emotional maturity that I just thought, wow, thank you. Because he taught me a lot. He really taught me a lot. But I didn't do the right thing there. That was not me doing the right thing. I shouldn't have just gone off the radar. I should have explained myself, but I didn't. I'm still learning, and luckily it worked out in my favour. But I just needed that time out. I needed to sort my insecurities, my issues, my fears, my doubts. And I had to really work through that for us to get back to a state of being healthy. And I explained that to him. So yes, I didn't initially give him the reasons, but I explained my reasons after. So, your masculine twins can well be doing the same thing. Like I said, I have been balancing my energies of feminine and masculine, and sometimes when I do that, I do feel like I'm in my masculine energy when I behave in that way. And it's about balancing that out. So, I'm still learning. But nonetheless, I relayed truthfully what was going on with me. And that's all I can really say, guys. It's that, I think what it boils down to is vulnerability. Twins can't be in union without vulnerability. It just doesn't work. And all the while you're masking, no matter what emotion you're feeling, all the while you're masking that, you're not being true. Not only are you not being true to yourself, you're not being true to your twin. And it can't work without truth. It just can't work without truth. So, there's a difference between that and chasing. And I hope I've made that clear now with the difference between that. You're not speaking your truth to chase him to get together. You're speaking your utter truth to actually release you and to then move forward and improve. And I think what happens is a lot of twins get caught in that fear of, well, if I say that, he's never going to fight for me and come back. Well, I'm here to tell you, yes, he will. Because if he's a true twin, they will always fight for you and come back. It just will happen. So you've got to keep that faith. And at the end of the day, that fear used to prevent me. It used to prevent me speaking my truth, believe me. And I just thought, well, I'll know then, won't I? Either way, I will know. Because if he comes back, it's meant to be. And this was before I even knew about the twin flame stuff. And even when I did know about the twin flame stuff, to be honest with you, I still had that fear. Because then it was, well, what if he's not really my twin flame and then he won't come back? I used to have the same fear. But I don't anymore because I trust in our connection. I trust that we are twins. It doesn't even matter to me whether we're twins or not now, to be honest with you. I just know that our connection is real. It's as real as they come for me. And at the end of the day, I'm no longer to voice everything I feel. Every single thing I feel, I will voice. And it doesn't matter how I voice it. He has this knack of, if I'm at my lowest and we've gone raw or I've gone raw at him, he'll do everything to make sure we're back on track. And vice versa. If he's ever in a bad place and I know he's coming at me, I will do everything to make sure that I'm okay, we're okay, and I'll be his support no matter what. So don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to ever voice how you feel in any given moment, whether you're together or not. Because like I said, if it is a case that he runs, let him run. Because true twins will come back. And that's it. So I hope I've kind of made it a bit clearer for you guys. And, you know, I mean, just ask questions. And at the end of the day, this is why I offer guidance sessions, okay? Because it's very generalized right now. Situations are different, different circumstances. You know, it can't be resonating for everyone because everyone's in a different situation. But as a general thing, this is what I mean. But if you want a guidance session with me, please book in. It's in the description. You know, just book in and I'll talk you through where you're at, and it's fine. So I love you all, and I hope that's helped in some way. All right. Mwah. God bless, and I will hopefully see you on Sunday. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.